Ever wondered how to keep your meals both nutritious and delicious? Today, we are going to show you how to create plant-based lunches and dinners that are not only easy, but taste great and support your cancer resilience journey. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our Proven Cancer Strategies Revealed 90 Days to Cancer Resilience series. I'm Debbie Sadify, and today is day 18, and we are focused on nutritious lunches and dinner ideas that are simple, versatile, and packed with health benefits. Now, yesterday we explored quick and easy breakfast recipes to kickstart your day, and today we're diving into the lunch and dinner hour to show you how to make meals that will fuel your body and support your health. Right, so let's dive in. All right. Ay, 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 ay. All right. Now, we talked about our meal planning and on 2 days ago on day 16. And one of the big things when we're talking about meal planning is to keep it super simple. And we already showed this little diagram, but I want to show it again. So our lunch and our dinner are very similar. We are going to have a leafy green salad, a big salad that takes up about half of our plate. Now, I like to use a bowl that's about 9 inches with about 2 or 3 inch lip on it for my meals. So half my plate will be a salad. I've got room for my baked potato, and then I've got my roasted veggies, grains, and some kind of protein like a bean or something like that. And I'll have a little bit of soup with it. And that is the same for lunch and for dinner. You can vary up what you're having, but it's the same format for both. And so why don't we dig in to what is in on the plate? All right. Now, when we're looking at what foods to eat, let's start with our soup. Now, you can do a vegetable soup, which is super simple to make. You a vegetable soup is going to have some onion, garlic. Typically, I use celery, carrots, diced tomatoes, some cabbage, yellow beans you can add in if they're available and in season. We don't have them all the time here, but if they are in season and I see some nice ones, I'll usually pick them up specifically to make a beautiful vegetable soup. You can add Brussels sprouts if you like those and you have them. So you're getting lots of those cruciferous vegetables with the cabbage and the Brussels sprouts. And if you want, you can add some beans to it. I would do some cannellini or white kidney beans. You can just add a can by rinsing and draining them. Sometimes you can, if you have some issues with beans, you might want to soak them before you cook them. So drain them and then soak them overnight and then use them. That will help. But you can add them in. You don't have to. You can leave it the way it is, but that adds a little bit extra, I guess, fiber and protein. And then either water or a vegetable broth. And then add in some spices. You could keep it very simple. Oregano or basil. You could use rosemary. This is where you can have the option to add a little bit of turmeric and black pepper to taste and add in that curcumin and the black pepper helps so that you can absorb the curcumin. So more of our cancer resilience spices. Other options for soup, a lentil soup, a split pea soup. You can do a potato leek, butternut squash, mushroom soup. There are so many options when it comes to soup. So keep your imagination open. And the main thing is that you're using whole foods and plant-based in your soup. So you can have lots of different options for soup. Change up the veggies, change up what you're doing for sure. All right. Let's move on to our big salad. For our leafy greens, you can use a spring mix. I mentioned how I like to just use a spring mix, and I can buy it and then just put a handful in. I think the spring mix that I use has like 11 different types of greens, leafy greens. So you're getting a variety just like that. But you can have romaine lettuce. You can have basically any other lettuce other than iceberg. Look for what's fresh in season. That's always good. You could have spinach, arugula, there's kale, bok choy. You could add some herbs to it as well. So there's lots of different ways that you can have a leafy greens, and then top them off with some raw vegetables. You could do tomatoes, a red cabbage is nice to shred up. You could do shredded carrots. There's onion. You could do chop up some green onion or scallions, I think some places call them. There's red onion, white onion, radishes. You could shred some beets, sweet peppers chopped up, cauliflower, broccoli, celery, bok choy, cucumber, and whatever else you can find or that you like. Now, you can also, for our roasted veggies, what I do is I have a casserole dish. I put them in the casserole dish and I will roast them at 350 for 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what veggies I'm using, just to make sure that they're soft. But you all keep it on a lower heat, like 350. And I love to have root vegetables because they're nice and sweet. Things like beets, there's onions, sweet potato, butternut squash, parsnips, another root, turnips. You can add in leeks, any squash or yams. There's zucchini, pumpkin, cauliflower, whatever you want, really. There's so many options that you can add. And then I also will bake potatoes. And for potatoes, there's, russet and Yukon Gold and yellow, white. You can have sweet potato. And there's so many different kinds of sweet potato. I've been snooping around my grocery store and finding some lovely potatoes that I'd never seen before, like a Japanese sweet potato. And I recently just tried a purple sweet potato. So they were nice and long and thin, and my Japanese sweet potato were like big with a white flesh, but very good. And they all have a little bit of different flavor. And when you add those kind of sweeter root vegetables to your salad, to your plate with your salad, and you mix it up, you get all these flavor bursts in it, which keep the variety and keep it exciting. Now, if you're doing a squash, sometimes what I'll do with my squash, like a butternut squash, instead of cutting it up and peeling it, which is hard to do, I just put it in the oven on a piece of parchment paper because it might have some leaking from the when it's roasting, and I don't want that to drip into the bottom of the oven and burn it. So what I will do is put it in the oven on a piece of parchment paper and just roast it. And then after I've finished roasting it, I'll chop it up and peel the outside. It's so much easier at that point. All right. And then you can add in your grains and legumes. You can do a whole grain rice. There are so many different kinds of rice. There's red rice, black rice, there's brown rice. Try different kinds. Quinoa is great. We made a beautiful quinoa salad. If you check our YouTube channel, we made two really nice quinoa salads that you can add in, and it makes a nice variety for what you're eating. And there's oatmeal, which is more like, for me, that's more my breakfast. And then you can add in your chickpeas, any beans. There's this one I forgot is adzuki beans, which is a Japanese bean. There's black beans, kidney beans, pinto beans, butter or lima beans. There's lentils and split peas. So the variety is all there, and they all have their own flavors. And so you can mix those up. And then add in a dressing, which you're going to put on top. You can do like a vinaigrette dressing, or you can make a really nice dressing with a vinegar. You could use lemon, lime, orange juice to get some acid in. And you could use either cold pressed organic extra virgin olive oil or a flaxseed oil, but please do not use other seed oils or other vegetable oils. Those are basically the two that you can use. I recommend and use the flaxseed oil, but if you can't find it, then the extra virgin olive oil is good. You can add some nuts and seeds. You know, there's almonds, walnuts, sunflower seeds, hemp hearts, lots of different kinds of seeds. And you can roast them in the oven to get them toasted, and then they have a really nice flavor to them. You can, again, add in to your dressing a roasted or raw vegetables. So I've done lots of dressings where I'm using beets or peppers or potatoes. I can add in for flavor, like an apple, grapes, some kind of sweet fruit. So there's lots of ways that you can do your dressings, and then you can add in some herbs like dill, cilantro, or parsley. And we're going to aim for 30 different plant foods per week. Be adventurous. Try some new things. Don't just stick to the same old, same old. I like to poke around in the grocery store and see what is new, if there's anything exciting and new that I've never tried. And with our internet now, you can always find how to prepare it, or get some education on those. But I encourage you to be adventurous. And so here's, I think I've showed this already, but some of the bowls that we've made. Tex-Mex and Fiesta type bowl is really easy to make. This is kind of showing my bowl, which is about 9 inches with a lip. So there's lots of variety that you can do with your veggies. Here's some things we're staying away from. We're trying to stay with whole food, plant-based. So most of the foods that are processed will have a label on them. We're going to stay away from our refined foods like flour, oils, beverages. There's so much sugar in a lot of the beverages that are out there. So we're, stick to simple things. Anything that you find hard to digest, if you have any allergies or sensitivities, of course. Anything that's got your sugar, oil, or salt, that's the SOS trio. And that basically is most processed foods. I am now, I guess, promoting to be sodium free if you can. That means our salt. That includes the ones that I love, pink Himalayan salt or Celtic sea salt. The whole idea is to cut down or cut out your sodium. I went sodium free at the beginning of this year, and I actually find it a big difference now in how I feel, and also my taste buds have totally changed. And why my tip for that is to use lemon juice to brighten up your food instead of adding more salt or adding salt. Another one, alcohol, animal products, which includes meat, fish, chicken, dairy, and eggs, and caffeine are on the do not eat food. And this is really about recovering and nutrifying your body so that you can regain your health. And now we're going to talk about some tips for keeping it simple and varied so that you don't feel like you're getting bored of the food that you're eating. We don't want you to be bored for sure. So some of the things we've talked about simplifying your life by batch cooking. So we do a prep on Sundays. We're going to make our potatoes. We're going to roast our vegetables, cut up our vegetables that we're going to use on our salad, and in other things, our garnish, make some sauces. So we are ready to go for our lunch and our dinner. We just have to reheat things. We can make our soup as well and ready to go. Mix and match. Use the same ingredients in different combinations to keep your meals interesting. So change up your greens. Don't always use the same leafy greens. Maybe one day you're using spinach. In our grocery store, it's very popular to have a spinach arugula mix. There's baby kale, all sorts of different vegetables that you can get. Butter lettuce, romaine, and also switch up your veggies, rotate them around. You can use bell peppers, one, and cucumbers. Maybe then you switch to carrots and tomatoes. You can buy some grape tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, regular tomatoes. And also you can vary up your beans and chickpeas, use different ones. And for me, the biggest thing is to make a variety of dressings so that you can have different flavor on your bowl on different days. I am a dill fan, so I have a few different dill recipes. I have a better than borscht recipe that's dill and beets, and so good to me. And we have a whole bunch of different ones. Check out some of our YouTube videos where we've actually done some of the dressings. You can make a lemon dressing, a lemon tahini dressing, a ginger miso dressing, avocado and lime. We did that last week for our In the Kitchen. Really nice creamy avocado lime dressing. Add some spices and herbs. So you can use cilantro, parsley, dill, basil, as well as some other spices. This is where our turmeric is good with our black pepper. You can use cumin, paprika, all sorts of different spices to add some variety and change it up. And then change up your textures. So you have a mix of raw and cooked vegetables. You can add your nuts and seeds to make it crunchy, creamy dressings. And one of the ones that my pro tip is that you can make a really creamy dressing by adding a baked potato into your dressing before you blend it up, and that'll add some creaminess to it. There's other ways to make things creamy. Try some new things. Maybe look at some recipes online, get some ideas, explore different cuisines and cooking styles. Really easy tip to keep it simple is to add make mason jar salads where you basically layer all of your different ingredients for your salad in a mason jar and that gives you a grab and go lunch. You just have to add your dressing. You can even add your dressing to the mason jar at the bottom and shake it all up. And that's a really simple way to keep your lunch very easy. Like I said, grab and go. And then for our simple change today, we are talking about planning and preparing a big salad or a vegetable soup using some of the principles that we've discussed. Check out our blog for more details on all of the ingredients and take some time today to prep your ingredients so that you can easily assemble a nutritious meal for lunch and dinner. Right. Now, asking if there's any questions on today's topic.
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
question.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to know, is it okay to eat apples as a last thing before you go to bed? Because
Apples?
some
Sure,
people
apples are
say it's
good.
not okay.
Sorry?
Some people say it's not okay to eat apples as a last thing because of the acidity
Yeah, no,
and stuff.
well, there is an idea that you really shouldn't be eating before you go to bed. You should let your system digest so that your stomach is empty uh, and not digesting. So your last meal should be roughly 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed. And that way your system is finished digesting, your body is finished digesting, and it can go to work while you're sleeping on restoration and getting rid of toxins and just restoring everything overnight. Because when you get up, your body's in go mode all day. And so ideally, you shouldn't be eating. Now, if you are hungry, an apple is a nice light thing to eat before you go to bed because I know, there's nothing worse than going to bed hungry. The recommendation is to try having like water, but that doesn't always work. So if you need to eat something light, a fruit is a good light thing to eat for sure. But as far as it being acidic, yeah, no, I don't know that there's any merit to that. But we can look into it. I'll put it on my list, OJ.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All
All right.
right.
So I'm curious because there's that expression an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yes.
But I've heard that if you want to keep your teeth, that it's really important to eat apples, but eat apples with the skin because it helps keep your teeth and gums healthy. I'm wondering if you guys have heard that.
For sure, there's the adage that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and there is definitely there is merit to that for sure. It is good to have apples, and it is good to eat the skins as well because there's lots of nutrients in the skin. However, I will say that if you're eating apples with the skin on, they are on the dirty dozen for the environmental working group. So they are one of the most highest amount of pesticides on the fruit. So you should really try to be eating organic apples and apples that have a skin for sure. Trying to get them organic. In terms of the acidity, I've more heard about lemon juice for the acidity, but it is a good practice to rinse your mouth or do a not a you don't have to do a full teeth brushing with your toothpaste, but maybe just brush your teeth with the toothbrush to get rid of some of the acidity if you're concerned about that.
Oh no, I thought eating the apples was beneficial for your teeth
Oh, yeah,
because
it
the
is.
peel. There's something about biting into the apple and the peel that like help cleans your teeth and
Yeah,
gums and is
yeah,
healthy.
I'm
That's what I
sure.
had heard.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds practical.
I
I mean, I know, like, I can know more, like, for my dogs, and I think it applies to humans. Eating raw vegetables and raw fruits definitely helps give your gums exercise for sure. I hate to say I hear it more about the dogs than than the humans, but a lot of stuff applies to both. I think that applies to both. So, but that's a good point, right? That's another benefit of eating our raw fruits and vegetables is the teeth health, our gum health. All right. Well, we are now at the point where if you're making stuff, would love to see what you're making, some of your creations. You can share a photo or take pictures of your lunch and dinner, and then put them in the comments, share and inspire. I think if we inspire each other to make healthy, delicious meals, and don't forget to check out the YouTube channel for more details on the recipes and tips. And thank you for joining us today. Remember, nutritious lunches and dinners are key to supporting your health and resilience. Keep it simple. Tomorrow we are in the kitchen and we are talking about healthy snacks and desserts. So you have to wait till tomorrow to see what's cooking. See you then.